so on the ball. You're just like obsessed with racing. It's amazing to watch how you operate.
I know. I actually should get out more.
Yeah. I actually thought you were trying to order a Domino's pizza for after this, but
or any other pizza.
Any other pizzas?
Yeah, there's lots of good pizzas out there. What now that you're not having to watch the pounds? What was your guilty secret? What do you now enjoy that you perhaps couldn't?
I used to love going for a few beers.
Yeah.
My guilty secret now, and I've just found this 2 weeks ago. There's a really good Thai takeaway in Newbury now.
Ooh.
I didn't know it was there. Oh, it's so good.
Is it? So Thai food would be one of your...
Well, to be fair, I like all food.
Yeah.
I'm not fussy.
There's Delta on the way to the start, Papa Delta. It's been in terrific form, actually, Papa Delta. And kind of, I think if he beats Slip Along Travascus once again, Rich, I think he might get to take him home.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you look at Slip Along Travascus' last two wins. It's like fourth beaten by Papa Delta, second beaten by Papa Delta. I'm sure Paul Howling looked at when the decks actually came
I'm
through
teasing,
and just went, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But no, Papa Delta for Tony Carroll is in absolutely flying form. He's won 2 of his last 4 races, both in lower levels than this and up to 50s, but when we get this low, I think any change in grade matters a great deal. Over 6 furlongs, but he's been running on really strongly at the end of his races, so one can suggest popping back up to 7's not going to be an issue. He had a horrible trip through the race 3 starts ago at Chelmsford over 7, so we ignore that. And at Brighton in August, he ran a really solid 3rd over 7, so he can, while he's never won over this trip, he should be able to get this trip in winning fashion. He is a come-from-behind horse, though, so he's going to be a little bit of a hostage to fortune, but pretty much all of these are come-from-behind horses, so somebody's going to have to decide to pick it up and run with it.
Yeah, and I wonder if that will count against Boxer Tricks, Judge, who's looked quite strong over a mile, and Shelley Burkett. Did Shelley Burkett ride out a claim? Or
yeah, she rode out a claim today at Linfield, which is, for anyone, it's a massive achievement to do that, and fair play to her. It was a great thing to do, and horse she knows extremely well.
Stall 13, horse has got form over a mile.
That is an issue for me. I think the draw is going to be... The only thing I would say is, as we were talking about earlier on, is you need to... I think she's going to have to be positive on this horse and taking that into account, and also looking through, there's not loads and loads of pace on...
Do you know what? Viola Park's the one I like here, and I suspect that some people will think, well, Viola Park's running okay. I think the horse is just coming back to form, and I think the key is the return to Kempton Park. Last time he was here off a higher handicap mark, he won, and I think he's running into form crucially at a time that coincides, Rachel, with the return to this track.
Oh, I like Viola Park. Papa Delta because he's the one in form, and then Viola Park was my second horse. I mean, most important thing, this is a 7 furlong race. He is a 7 furlong horse. He's won over 7 5 times, including here, and he made all to win here. He might be one of the main pace angles. He made all to win here back in May. That was his last victory. That was when ridden by David Probit. Guess who's on today? And this is his first run back since, as you were saying. And his last 2 runs at Wolverhampton have actually been pretty decent. And last time out when he finished 4th, he was drawn in stall 9. You have to remember, Wolverhampton, they run the 7 furlongs out of the chute. A wide draw is not ideal there because basically for the first furlong and a half of the race, you are fanned very wide. So, and that's on a turn. So I think back to Kempton, Viola Park at the price, which is about 5 to 1. Yeah, that's in a complicated handicap with a short price favourite. 5 to 1 could be of a bit of the each way value in there.
Okay, Past the Crystals slipped a feasible mark. Nicola Curry stall 1. That one's been backed. That's prominent in the market, but just the potential for a tactical race here. It'll be interesting to see how it pans out. But for the final time, they are loading quickly. There's Papa Delta going in. Let's rejoin Simon.
Prize favourite Papa Delta about to enter the stalls under George Downing. And just out the back, Atalanta Queen and Viola Park. Atalanta Queen and Shane Kelly. No ride here for Tom Marquand, who's stolen the card, a 3-timer for Tom. Now it's the chance for one or two of the other jockeys to get on the score sheet. Last one going in, Viola Park. All set, Papa Delta from stall 4, this short price favourite. And they're away and racing. It looked a pretty level one. Give 'em a Clump is driven along hard towards the inside to try and go handy. Also in the firing line, Istanbul Pasha and Papa Delta, who now comes through to take over as they race towards the exit from the back straight. Viola Park in the purple-white cap, and on the outside in the shades of green, Boxer Tricks as they approach this right-hander. They're tracked then by Istanbul Pasha and Kodiak Pearl towards the outside of the field. Arctic Flower back on the inside behind Give 'em a Clump. And then Atalanta Queen in behind these, just a little worse in the midfield as they race now inside the final 4 furlongs, past the Crystal, New Rich, slip along Travaskis, Dear Song towards the rear, and finally Black Truffle. About to swing the corner then, and Papa Delta, George Downing trying to keep this simple here on the favourite. Lee's turning into Viola Park, kicks 2 lengths clear. Chased hard then in behind them by Istanbul Pasha, Boxer Tricks, Arctic Flower. He says go on the leader, Papa Delta, trying to put it to bed, but coming home well is Boxer Tricks, and the favourite Papa Delta is hanging left-handed to the centre. Boxer Tricks runs on well, Viola Park down the near side, then slip along Travaskis inside the final furlong. It's still just Papa Delta from Viola Park. The big danger now on the near side. Viola Park within a half length. Now it's a neck. Now it's only a head. And the post is coming. Papa Delta and Viola Park. Papa Delta may just have clung on from Viola Park. Black Truffle and slip along Travaskis.
Oh, that is fantastically close. It looks like Papa Delta's done it again, holding off Viola Park. That was a long final furlong, whichever side of that particular skirmish you were on, folks. But it looks like Papa Delta for George Downing. Tony Carroll in the colours of Paul Downing. It looks like he has done it. Viola Park kept trying, but in the end couldn't. And it's Black Truffle.
Here's the result of the photo finish for first place. First, number 1, Papa Delta.
Papa
Second,
Delta wins it.
6.
6-4 favourite in a race like this. Lordy, Lord, he was the wrong price, but he's the winner. I didn't realise he was so short.
We actually just said that when we were doing the preview. 6-4 has been just short for...
That just shows he doesn't listen to what we say.
No, absolutely
most
right.
presenters don't listen. Have you noticed that? I mean, you just talk to them and they just like blank you completely.
I didn't realise he was so short. Crikey.
Tell you what, Black Truffle absolutely flew home. Came from right out the back and grabbed third late on. It was sort of stepped back in the right direction, but I thought the winner really wanted it, knows how to win, and really.
But Viola Park threw everything.
Oh no,
out.
it was a really good battle, but it was you kind of thinking, you were shouting for Viola Park furlong out, and you're thinking you might just get there, and it was a sort of neck and neck. It was a really good battle for the grader race. It was a good race. And
they went like 100 yards rage. It looked like they were going to go mad. They just were getting positions. But I mean, the 1-2 here, and unfortunately Shelley sort of trapped 3 foot 4 wide on Boxer Tricks.
Yeah, because I mean, George Downing, and I'm not just saying this because it was a winning ride, but that was a really good ride. Papa Delta broke well from stall 4, saw that he could basically get out, get the rail. And even if horses Viola Park and Boxer Tricks had come over on him, he would have still had a really good catbird seat in behind waiting for the cutaway. But as it was, he gets out in front, totally settled in his own right. Step up to 7, back up to 7 today. He saw it out perfectly. He's not going to go up that much for it because he didn't win by very far at all. He's probably going to have to move up into another grade, but I mean, he just looks a really nice little fun horse for Tony Carroll, who's in a really rich vein of form. He had a really nice winner at Newbury on Friday, and he's had a couple of winners since, but always a trainer that you should pay attention to because he knows how to train and place his horses, and because he's not a sexy name, sometimes this is a bad example, go off bigger than they should be. Well, not only 6-4 favourite, but you know.
Yeah, and hurdlers, but generally there's a good portion of his horses are running at this sort of level.
Yeah, but he's good at it. I mean,
he keeps them winning. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then anybody can train a good horse, a really good horse, a top level horse. You keep him fit and you place him well, and placing's easy. Group 1s.
Slip along Travaskis behind Papa Delta again. Unfortunately, 4th. That horse has run well. And Black Truffle, George, are you taken by that? So
well, I thought it was just the jockeys on the first two got the pace absolutely spot on, George Down and David Probert. And I always think it's interesting because nothing's really made much inroads. The front two were the front two the whole way. And Black Truffle, who's dropped to a fairly favourable mark, has been a bit hit and miss recently. This was a step back in the right direction. And seems to love the all-weather surface. Maybe a race to be won in the near future, I would have thought.
What a fantastic finish that was. It really was fantastic. And Viola Park, that was a quick return to action.
Yeah,
George?
Because as I said to you, as the race jumped off, I said it's always a concern 4 days backing up after a short period of time off the track, and it was a right call because it nearly paid off.
Very nearly, but not quite. And